Hello there, we're on the air. It's a curling morning from the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club. This is the 2026 DoubleTakeout.com MoPac Championships. This is your host Ryan Olson with the latest draw. It's our final triple header of the tournament. We may have some tiebreakers on Sunday, but this will be the conclusion of round robin at the end of our third game tonight at 7:30. Our feature game will see two teams with one loss looking to stay in contention for the championship and the berth to the national championship. That is on sheet B, the second from the right. On the top half of the stream that is Team Coleman from San Francisco taking on Team McDonald from Coyotes and Wine Country Curling. Going from right to left, the rest of the sheets in play include Team Gilbert's from Oval Curling of Utah and Nashville, Team Endicott from Coyotes. Skipping sheet B, going to sheet C, the third from the right. We have Team McLean from Coyotes taking on Team Cerna from Coyotes and Wine Country and San Francisco. And then on sheet D, the leftmost sheet, we have Team Aces from Silicon Valley taking on Team Barajas from San Francisco. So we've done the warm up and the draw to the button to see who has hammer. I believe they said it was Team McDonald that has the last rock advantage. So as teams do their final practice slides, we are about to get underway. Thank you everyone for tuning in. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to drop a message in the YouTube chat, and I will be happy to respond as I am able. So for Team Coleman, we see the lead, Neil Hunter Smith, get into the hack. Have a bit of the sniffles this morning, folks, so I'll definitely do my best to keep it off the mic. And he delivers the rock, and we are underway. Draw 7 here at the Mixed Fours Playdowns on the curling.gg network. So that slips into the rings. Probably not a bad start. It does lead to Brian Feldman Jr. looking to hit that out for Team McDonald. Uh, team Team McDonald curls out of Coyotes and Wine Country. Brian Feldman Jr., I believe, is the representative from Wine Country. And then Team Coleman is an all San Francisco rink. Oh, so he put up a corner guard. My apologies for that in terms of getting the call wrong. Neil's second shot. So it looks like they're going to go in front of the stone in the rings partially. Oh my goodness. So the weather outside is about 46 degrees. It's sunny. I don't think there was a cloud in the sky as I was coming to the club in West Oakland. Well, near the airport. West Oakland is a specific neighborhood. Brent Feldman Jr.'s second shot, I think looking to draw around their guard. If it turns into a guard, that's not too shabby. It looks like it's on the guard. They're going to raise that guard into the rings. And then the shooter looks like it might be outside. Coleman went to take a look at it. Looking to hit that yellow out. This is the second for Team Coleman. This is Christina Lugo. No, I apologize. This is Abby Lynn. Looking for bumper weight to hit that yellow on the nose. It's on the guard, though. So it peels the guard. I think Coleman was really hoping to hit and roll under the guard, and that just was a little too tight. This is Jennifer Collins for McDonald. Hoping to make some contact on the blue. It will. Oh, it kisses and misses. Ends up pushing that blue under the guard. So a couple early misses from the seconds. Uh, just a little too, well, Collins is a little wide and Abby was a little wide. So Abby's second shot. Calling for curl out of hand. This has been a flash, I believe. And that does go through the rings out of play. So looking to maybe run the yellow in the center back to the blue. Calling for back four weight. Just looking for a tap back. Calling for curl, but it looks like it was over curling. They may have been looking for a plan B. It chips the guard, and the shooter rolls wide to the right or the top, depending on who you ask. So it gives a slight advantage to Coleman, I would say. Looking for a hit and a slight roll with the first rock from Connor Robertson for Team Coleman. Looking okay. It rolled maybe a little bit more than they had hoped, as it gets rid of the yellow in front of the shot stone and rolls over the shooter to kiss and tap the other yellow that was in the top right from this view. This is Darren Campbell's first, looking to take out the blue, and it gets both blues moving through the rings out of play. That is a double takeout brought to you by doubletakeout.com. Good shot from Darren. All right. Next shot coming from Connor. Looking to clear some of these yellows in the rings. Does get one. So it looks like McDonald would like to draw and split the rings. So I think we'll see Darren curl towards the right from this view with his delivery underway. Good release, good handle. Need to go for weight. Oh my goodness. That needed another 3 feet, so just a little on the line side. Otherwise, looking good in terms of the line. So uh, McDonald may be sitting two. It's hard to tell if that yellow on the bottom right is touching or not. I'm going to guess it is, as we are to skip stones here at the end of the first end. As Gabrielle Coleman gets set for her first of two skip stones without the hammer. Looking to hit the yellow and then I think roll under cover if they can. So you got hits, not much of a roll. So I think McDonald is going to try to hit and roll now with her shot. At the very least, make that go away, but she is looking for some roll. So the broom is down for the hit and roll, looking for the counterclockwise outturn rotation as Andy McDonald, the young phenom from Coyotes, gets set. She and I think Abby and a couple other women were on the uh, Team USA at the World University Games last season. That was exciting to see. Gonna hit. It's gonna roll. I think gonna get pretty well covered on the bottom or the left side of the sheet. So Coleman, I think, is looking to set up a double to make sure that the outside yellow is definitely not counting, and then hopefully get the yellow in the house at the same time. So she's coming back to talk it over with Connor. I think the line is going to be super important, and also these are more experienced teams, but things can get a little finicky the further out you go to the edge of the sheet. So um, it always seems like sometimes the rock either goes too wide or it over curls. And I guess we'll see how the ice reacts early in this game. As Coleman gets set for her last, looking for a double, or at the very least, avoid giving up three. So it does get rid of the outside yellow, but the yellow that's in the rings is secure. So McDonald is going to try to get 3 points by splitting that yellow just outside the house into the ring. So she wants to hit the yellow at the right angle to kind of get it to slide to biting the top of the house, and then have the shooter roll the opposite direction, but also still touching the top of the house. It's not a bad call because she'll throw with enough weight to make sure that that top yellow right now that Darren's touching with the broom, to make sure that gets into the rings, and then the shooter may or may not roll into the rings, but it looks like a pretty good call. As Andy McDonald has one in the rings right now, looking for three with her last rock in this first stand. The hammer coming down the ice. And they said it picked, I believe. So just an unlucky accident on the ice in terms of like there's maybe some debris or something got under the stone and pushed it off course. So unfortunate, but that's a score of 1 for Team McDonald. She'll take that into the second end while Team Coleman will grab the hammer. We'll be right back as we continue with our coverage of the 2026 doubletakeout.com MoPac Championships. Welcome back to our ongoing coverage of the 2026 Mixed Fours Playdowns, coming to you live from Oakland, California on the curling.gg network. We see opening rocks for both teams. This is the last of the first stones being delivered by Neil. This is a game for staying in the hunt for the championship. Coleman was dealt their first loss last night against the undefeated Team McBride. Team McDonald is also sitting on one loss, so the winner of this game will stay in the hunt. The team that loses might be on the outside looking in. As Jennifer gets set for her first to draw around. This is starting to hit, so not a draw around. Looks like Coleman has the broom down for Abby Lynn to hit and roll. Calling for straight. Hoping to get a piece, it looks like. They do get the piece. Hits it pretty close to nose. A roll slightly in. So not too much of a roll, but mission accomplished. As the broom is down quickly for Collins to hit that blue out. As coverage of this second end is being brought to you by doubletakeout.com. Proprietor Ken Pomeroy updates the site throughout the competitive curling season to create a unique statistics and ranking system for the top men's and women's teams from around the world. See how your team ranks against the competition at doubletakeout.com. And her soft weight takeout was successful. So Coleman's going to try that hit and run again with Lynn's second stone. Needs it to get over at least another half rock. Doesn't get over quite enough. It does get over to get the yellow gone, but the shooter also rolls out while I'm sure Coleman wanted that to stick around. This is Darren's first. Looking to draw around. Looks like it is just a smidge heavy. Let's see if Coleman's going to be able to sweep it through the rings. It does settle in the back of the 12 foot on the center line. So behind cover. So Coleman, I think, will look to try to utilize the guard and not clear it with Connor Robertson's first. So Coleman comes out to help sweep. So this is probably going to be a smidge on the light side. And indeed, it turns out to be a guard when they needed it. They didn't need it in the rings necessarily, but they would have preferred it in the rings. So now, with that side blocked, Darren's going to draw the other side of the sheet. Both sides of the sheet have been used this end, so I think that they hopefully have a good idea of the line. Need to make sure it stays off the guard. It is off the guard. So now they're going to make sure they push it as far under cover as they can. And it doesn't quite get fully buried, but it does look to be at least half buried. So that was a pretty good shot there from Campbell. So covered by the guard that Coleman is now looking to peel the guard. And you saw right there, they picked up a little bit of debris on the ice. Definitely do not want this shot to pick. Connor's last rock. Going for the clockwise in-turn rotation. Gets one of the yellows moving, but it flashes the shot stone on the forefoot, but it does open the shot stone. So Darren has the broom down for Andy McDonald to put up a guard or a front stone. So basically replace the guard. As McDonald gets set. Going for the out turn counterclockwise rotation. Just cleaning. And that will settle in the house. Like so I said, it could be a front stone. Indeed, it was. Uh, a little tight to the shot rock, so it does give Coleman a chance to line up the double takeout. I don't think they want to try to go for the triple. There could be a way to line up a triple, but I don't think it helps them too much, and they would lose the shooter. The broom is down as Coleman makes her way into the hack. Going for the double with Coleman's first. Coleman's been curling for off and on, going back to 2009, I believe. Looking for the double. This is going to be one, and that's going to be all as the shooter rolls to the side of the 12 foot. So leaving McDonald sitting two, and I think Coleman's going to, sorry, I think McDonald is going to try a very similar shot to her last. Um, and I think the same weight. I thought the guard would have been a little better for this first one, but now the tighter shot is better because if they're sitting three and uh, it narrows the scoring area, so Coleman would have a much harder draw to try to get to the button for that single shot. So the force is on, a chance to steal. This is Andy McDonald with her last. We heard Darren say just a guard. So they said just a guard, but it is going to slip into the rings. So, like I said, I thought a front stone was the better call, and that's really well positioned because Coleman can't hit that unless she does the triple. It looks like they'd be lining up the triple. Uh, I think the draw is the better call because if she draws to the edge of the button, that's the signal point. You see Connor's kind of indicating that. So it'd be a triple for maybe two. The likely outcome, it might be a double. And that way, Coleman would just be maybe giving up one. That could be the likely risk. The reward would be the triple and scoring up to two. So Connor's looking at the angles, and this is a this is a high risk shot. Again, there's the likely uh, potential damage of two, but the possible damage is also giving up a steal of three. So a lot on the line with his shot from Coleman. Has the heat. Does she have the line? Looks like it's a little outside. It gets, oh God, two of the yellows moving, and then the yellow that was going towards the bat just kissed the yellow in the back. So that was a double takeout brought to you by doubletakeout.com. Cuts McDonald down to a single point. So McDonald really good for stealing. Coleman just a really good try to uh, maybe get two out of this end. Pause the action. We'll be right back as we continue with our coverage of the 2026 doubletakeout.com MoPac Championships. Rocks in play. We are underway here in the third end of a possible eight ends of regulation. You can see that Brian Feldman Jr. put up a centerline guard right on the center line, meaning that it cannot be dislodged off that center line until the after the fifth rock at the end. As part of the no tick rule. Hunter Smith's next rock was going for a corner guard. I thought corner guard, but it's going to actually slip into the rings. I think it was maybe a little heavy. Settles into the back 12 foot. So it looks like McDonald has the broom down for another, well, a draw, I believe. Oh, so it was another guard. I thought it could have been. And so they do have staggered offset guards down the center. And so now Coleman is looking to draw around, basically be sitting two at this point. Looks like it's going to go a little deep. Now they're working to, I think, make sure that it gets buried, but not go too deep. Kind of a interesting couple of elements to balance, but it does end up being, I would say, about a quarter buried, just because that guard in front of it is just so high up, and so McDonald is just going to draw down on top of it with the first stone from Collins. So looking to draw again, the out-turn counterclockwise rotation needs to curl. So I don't think it's going to get to it, as McDonald I think so was saying, not to it, not to it, and that does settle in the back 8 foot for second shot, as Coleman has the broom down for another draw. Abby's first shot, looking to draw down, I believe, on top of the blue. I think be in front of it, looking for top 8 foot, I believe. So around the guards, looks like the weight is looking pretty good as long as they get it to full 8 foot, and it's just a quarter rock too light to be second shot, but not too bad. It does block the or does cover this the shot stone on that path, and that's leading McDonald to draw the opposite side of the sheet. Coverage of this end is being brought to you by curling.gg. Curling.gg is proud to be an official sponsor of Team Canada's mixed doubles champions Brett Gallant and Jocelyn Peterman. Curling.gg. Oh, and that shot ends up in a really great place. Settles right on the button, right on the pin. So a great draw there by Jennifer. And so now Coleman is going to try to follow that shot down with Lynn's second stone. Working to carve it over. Needs a little bit more curl. Just didn't quite curl up enough, and McDonald takes over sweeping duties to get it through most of the house. Sits down on the back 12 foot. So McDonald is going to ask Darren to, I think, draw again. I think they want a tight guard. Calling for curl. Weight looked pretty close as both sweepers are going, so I think they need a little bit of help for weight. But like we were saying, I think they just want a guard, and that is what they're getting, a guard that's pretty tight to the center line. I think I don't think Coleman could really draw around that and be shot, so I think she's looking to line up something interesting. Yellow, yellow, blue, yellow. You can kind of see the possible chain there. Yellow on the right, yellow, yellow, blue, yellow. And they would be sitting two if they were able to make the shot. And then the possible plan B would just be to help clear some of the guards out front. Uh, Choosing to do something different. I think just looking to peel at least one or two of these guards. And gets one of the guards going, but it jams on the guard that they most wanted to move, I believe. But it does open up the blue on the right, you can see. So that's what McDonald was saying. You kind of locked it down on that other side. Darren's second stone is away. Line looks okay. It may have overcurled slightly, but it does do its job. I think there's a double there to open up both sides. So I think that seems to be something like that Coleman would want to take on. They could also be lining up that yellow, yellow, blue, yellow. Uh, and that's where she has the broom. Yellow, yellow, blue, yellow. This will be something to see if they are able to pull it off. Yellow, yellow, blue, yellow. You got yellow, yellow. That's it. It does open it up though. It gets three of the yellows moving. Two of the yellows go away. So that is a double takeout brought to you by doubletakeout.com. And we can see the situation in the house now. Both paths to the shutdown are open, and McDonald can't block them both. So she has to either block one or put the stone in a way that Coleman can't really get to that shot stone. So it sounds like they might want to draw to the top 12 foot, like right on the center line, to I think make it harder for Coleman to do any sort of run back on the easiest shot, I believe. McDonald's first shot is away. Looking for a front stone. Top 12 is the target. It's going to be a tight guard instead, but it does take away the easy run back. And so Coleman has a draw or a angle raise takeout for sitting two. And that is what they're going to go for. Down two, looking for a chance to get back into this game with this angle raise. So looking for the angle raise. This is Gabrielle Coleman, her first with a hammer here in the third end. Not a lot of weight. This looks to be back line to hack, I believe. Looking close. It's going to raise the blue onto the yellow, and then the yellow jams a bit on the yellow in the back, but the yellow rolls off and goes to the back 12 foot, back 8 foot line. So a good shot there by Coleman. So that shot stone is open. Coleman is sitting 2, and so I think McDonald's looking to draw around. She can also hit and roll, and that seems to be kind of she narrowed her broom position to the stone. So I think is looking for that hit and roll. So looking for a hit and roll. This is Andy McDonald's last without the hammer. Delivery looks pretty good. Calling for curl. You don't want it to jam on the back. It does jam in the back, and oh my goodness, this is an opportunity for Coleman in the offing with that slight miss by McDonald. They are shot right now, but running that blue onto the back yellow creates an opportunity for Coleman to score 3. I don't see it being possible for Coleman to score more than that, though. Even though there are 4 blues in the house right now, they are being outcounted by at least that yellow that's right on the 8-foot line, right next to the word this. So a prime opportunity for Coleman. She is also going to try the hit. Doesn't need to have much of a roll. She, I think, wants to hit and stick really for that 3rd point. So this is the last rock with the hammer. Facing 1, a chance for 3. So it hits that cleanly through between the blues in the back of the house, and so that is going to be a score of 3 for Coleman to jump into the lead, 3-2. Pause in the action. We'll be right back as we continue from Oakland. As they're about to get started with this end, let's take a look around the rings. Part of our trademark feature where we go around the rings. Sheet A, the contest between Team Gilbert with the Bluestones and Team Endicott with the Yellows. Team Gilbert is currently up 4-0. Sheet 2 is our feature game. We just saw Team Coleman with the Bluestones score 3 to take a 3-2 lead over Team McDonald. Sheet C, it is all Cerna right now. They're up 6-0 after 3, but the blue team, Team McLean, is knocking on the door. They were sitting 4, and now we just saw Cerna draw and hit one of the blues out, and is now shot buried. Although it does look like McLean can tap that blue onto the yellow to sit 4 once more. And I think they might be close to the end of the end. And then on sheet D, we have Team Aces with the blue stones up 2-1 over Team Barajas with the yellow. And they just finished the end. I missed the score. So those are the games in progress. You can keep track of the scores and the standings at bonspieler.com. Shifting our attention back to our feature sheet, we saw that Coleman drew in with the first stone, and McDonald opted for the corner guard. And Neil Hunter Smith has been asked to put up a draw or guard with the intern rotation. Calling for curl. You might be able to hear that. So she said center was okay. That's pretty close to center. Although there's a port for McDonald to get to the shot stone, and that is what she is indicating for Brian Feldman Jr. to take on. So through the port onto the shot stone, nose hit, well done by Feldman. Oops. Coverage of this ad is being brought to you by Endgame Curling. Elevate your game with Endgame Curling. Reach the next level with Endgame's leading edge curling brooms and accessories. Endgame's 100% carbon fiber brooms feature either a 7.5-inch head or a 9-inch head. As this shot looks close to hit and roll under cover. So that was a great shot by Abby. Endgame's no slip silicone grip sleeve gives you unparalleled connection to your broom, and Endgame's unique three-piece travel handle makes traveling for curling easy. Learn more at endgamecurling.com. So looking to either take out the shot stone, peel the shot stone, or peel the guard. This is going to be past the guard. Going to make contact with the shot stone. Is it going to be enough to get it through the range? And the answer is no. It pushes it back to the tee line. So it does give Coleman an opportunity to sit two, possibly. So Abby's second shot, looking for the draw to be in front of the shot stone or draw to it, I believe. This is a little heavy. It taps it back, taps the shot stone back. Not bad. It could have been the call. So now Coleman is sitting two. McDonald is asking Jennifer to hit and I think maybe roll if she can. I think there was a concern about jamming the blue onto the blue. Going to hit. Is it going to roll? It does roll. It crosses the center and settles in the back 4 foot. And that's going to be good for shots. Good shot there by Jennifer. So Coleman, I think, was looking at maybe drawing, but she said hold on. So considering her options, she has gone for the draw for Connor's first rock here in this fourth end. Fourth end of a possible 8 ends of regulation. After this fourth end, we will take a 5 minute break. And you may have heard some sniffles. I apologize. I try not to put that on mic, but some have slipped through. I'll do my best to keep it off mic. This is a little wide and a little heavy, so it's going to settle into the back 8 foot, maybe 12 foot, full 12 foot. So just a bit up weight. So Darren is going to be asked to, I think, try the draw. Looking for just about 4 feet of curl. San Francisco has new rocks this season, and I think some of the early reviews are that the rocks are really good. They're a little weight sensitive though, so if the weight is a little heavy, it doesn't necessarily curl as much as it would if the rock is on the lighter side. So it's not uncommon and it's predictable. So that shot looks to be just a little heavy. The line was pretty good though, as Coleman has the room pretty quickly for Connor. Needs to curl. The weight's better. And also there's some backing with that yellow in the back 8 foot. Doesn't need it as it draws right in front of it. Both of those rods from McDonald and Coleman's teams were just a smidge wide. That guard is really high up, so they could maybe bring their broom in just a slightly, like a half rock. Uh, but they're calling for pretty similar broom to the other shots down this path. So it looks like McDonald is still shot right now, and this is tight on the guard. So we were saying weight sensitive. It ticks off the guard. It's going to roll to the top of the house, and so then it's still curling. So with that bump assist off of the guard, it's good for third shot, I believe. And so Coleman is looking to draw around, and so I guess that's kind of the possible weight sensitivity, or it's possible that Darren was a little tight on his release, but it still ended up in a pretty good place. So calling like a similar line to the other shots. You can see where Connor has the broom. I think they just want to sit in front of the yellow, or maybe get a little tick and roll under. That might be the shot here, as Gabriel gets set. Looking at the weight, it looks like they are going to try that tick and roll. Needs about another half rocket curl to be really good. Gonna hit. Does get the yellow gone, so that was a good outcome. I don't know if it's good for shot though, as we looked at the overhead, and it looks like McDonald is still shots by about a sliver, but there's three blues after that. So pretty interesting setup in the house. And it does narrow the scoring area. It doesn't seem, I mean, it seems possible for McDonald's to maybe hit that Coleman blue that's in the top 4 foot and then roll under to maybe shot position. But it looks like they're opting to draw and tap that yellow down the center up, which I think could work. As McDonald gets set for her first of two skip stones with the hammer here in this fourth and down one. So looking for, I think backline weight might be the call. It's on the guard, I believe. It does tick the guard, and it rolls wide to the right. So now I think Coleman would like to. I mean, she'd like to steal, but I think the better goal is to just narrow the chances of scoring. Or she could try to tap that blue up. Pardon me. So they're not sitting shot; they're sitting 2, 3, 4. And so, is the best defense a good offense? We will see, as I think that Coleman is looking to draw and tap up the blue to shot position. So this is the last rock. I think looking for a tap up, or she could be. I don't think she's going to get to a place where they can cut off that raise on the right. So the weight in the line looked pretty good. You see it start to curl right past the hog line. It's going to hit the blue and raise it to shot position. And I think that's the best defense right there. A good offense as it raises the blue to the back button, and it's not a lot of backing. So really, McDonald really only has a shot for one, um, because the raise of the yellow will raise it to the blue, and that blue is not going to go anywhere really. So a raised tap for a single point. This is Andy McDonald getting set for her last. Calling for curl. Did some sweep management there. It's over curling, so this is a tricky situation. It does make contact with the yellow, but not enough to outcount that shot stone. So it looks like to be a steal of 1 for Team Coleman. They could do a measure. They're not going to do a measure. So after McDonald started off the scoring in the first 2 ends, it's been Team Coleman in ends 3 and 4 to take a 4-2 lead into the halftime break. We're going to take the break with them, and we'll be right back as we continue with our coverage of the 2026 doubletakeout.com MoPac Championships, coming to you live from the San Francisco Bay Area Curling Club. Welcome back to the 2026 Mixed Fours Playdowns on the curling.gg network. Coverage of this event is being brought to you by doubletakeout.com, offering updated statistics and rankings of the top men's and women's teams from around the world, doubletakeout.com, and by curling.gg. Curling.gg is growing fast and has partnered with Jamie Sinclair from the Curl Up with Jamie channel to bring more curling insights to fans everywhere. Curling.gg and Endgame Curling. Elevate your game with Endgame Curling. Learn more at endgamecurling.com. Rocks and play, we're underway. That timing worked out really well, and the timing has been working well for Team Coleman. Scoring 3 in the third end with a great shot, and then stealing the fourth end. So they're currently up 4-2. And let me show you what I'm seeing. As Coleman puts up what might be a center guard. And indeed, it does look like a very tight center guard on the center line, too. So Feldman Jr. is looking to put up a corner guard. And that shot looks successful. So Neil Hunter Smith has been curling for 2 years and has, as I mentioned in past games, a good number of accomplishments already under his belt, including the semifinals at the men's club playdowns, and also a semifinalist in arena playdowns. And he also was a runner-up at the Golden Gate Bonspiel here in San Francisco, and won the base spiel and the ball. The base spiel is Silicon Valley's bonspiel. I've been saying it's San Francisco's, but it's Silicon Valley's. So the bay and the ball. And that draw around is about 20% buried. Brian Feldman Jr. has been curling for 11 years. He went to Mixed Fours Nationals in 2023, finishing in fourth place. Also went to Mixed Nationals in 2022, so he has some pedigree in this competition. Also went to Mixed Doubles Nationals and won gold and bronze at previous editions of the Arena Nationals. And so he drew in there, and let's see who shot. It's currently Coleman in the top 4-foot as Abby delivers her first rock. It's on the guard, and so let's see if the guard is going to go out of play. And the guard does go out of play. No, it does not. Sorry. I saw someone right by the line, and I guessed that was the rock. So that was a tick. Successful. So Jennifer Collins is going to throw some control weight, I believe, to get both those blues moving. Gets one of the blues, gets two of the blues moving, but the first blue jammed and sticks around as second shot. So trading control weight takeouts now. Abby has been curling for 10 years. Some of her accomplishments include uh, the champion at the Women's Club Playdowns this past year, last month actually. Control weight, going to hit and roll wide to the left. Uh, Abby was also at the 2025 Club Nationals and went to the U18 National Championship in 2019. Some of her recent events include the World University Games and the Junior Grand Slam of curling for 25 and under curlers. As we have Jennifer deliver her shot, I think looking to take out the shot stone on the right. Jennifer's been curling for 3 years. A great hit and roll wide out of play. Uh, she finished in third place in 2023 in this event with Team McDonald. Also was the third event winner at the U.S. Women's Curling Association National Bonspiel in 2024. They're sitting two. Put the mic on mute. Oh, that reminds me. I was here using this great streaming setup for the first time. I think almost 4 years ago now, and I didn't have the mic working. So I was talking for a day and a half before someone said, "Hey, dude, are you supposed to be able to hear you on the broadcast?" And of course, you're supposed to, but they weren't. This looks pretty good for a single, close to a double, as it rolls underneath the blue in the house. So one blue goes away, the other blue sticks around. Situation in the rings is Coleman sitting one. Connor has been curling for 4 years. His resume includes appearances at the men's club playdowns in 25, 24, and then qualified for the mixed doubles nationals with uh, Gabrielle. That's coming up later this year, as this shot will go into the top of the rings. Thank you for the feedback, Danny. He can hear us on the chat now, which is good, or on the stream. Some people might say I talk too much, so I guess try to find the right balance. So looking to hit and roll. Darren's been curling for 4 years. Lots of wins under his belt, including uh, the champion at the 5 and Under National in 2025. Also winning the MoPac and some club 5 and Under championships, as that shot does hit the blue out. It does look like from the overhead camera that blue is still shot on the 12 foot, and so Coleman's going to hit that out. I think they would maybe like to roll a little under that yellow, and so they'd be sitting two, and one of the shots would be protected. Darren was kind enough to give us his favorite Taco Bell order. So, if anyone on the chat wants to, make a gift to Darren, what's going on there? My bad. His favorite Taco Bell order is one cheesy gordita crunch with beans, three Doritos Locos Tacos with beans, and one large Diet Pepsi with beans. And he's hoping for a Taco Bell sponsorship. So going to hit, not much of a roll, not too bad though. And of course, I'm obviously joking about the soda order with beans. Although that's almost sort of like what boba is. I mean, they're tapioca balls, but they're kind of like beans. I've never had boba, so I don't know for sure. They look like beans. Oh man, boba. So looks like maybe just checking for any sort of debris on the ice. Andy McDonald gets set. She has been curling for a number of years, multiple U18 and U21 national championships for 2017 to 2022, pardon me. Won the Donna Perky Women's Bonspiel at Coyotes in 2024 and was at the World University Games with Abby Lynn just this past year. Looking for a hit and roll. Going to hit. Looks like it's going to roll. How far is it going to go? How far will it go? It pokes out the other side. So it looks like it was a good effort there by McDonald to get rid of the shot stone, and it's yellow is currently shot, but Coleman has the room down for the takeout. Both Darren and Connor they were kind of squatting on the ice, almost looking like they were having a confab. So Coleman's been curling off and on for 12 years. One of her earlier accomplishments was reaching the Olympic trials in 2009, finishing in ninth. In this discipline, she went to mixed nationals in 2010 and 2022. And this is going to be a hit and a roll wide. Oh, he didn't burn the rock. I hope he's okay. So, nice catch there by Darren. I hope he's okay. Looks like he is. So, Coleman is sitting two now, and so McDonald will really, I think, just go for the signal. That's where she has the broom. If that blue that's on the center was maybe just a smidge higher, she could maybe try to split those two yellows in for a second point. But it didn't work the first end. And I don't think it's there. I'm not on the ice. I like to say this is time for my curling disclaimer. I'm in the warm room. I'm not on the ice, so I don't necessarily know what the curlers are seeing. I also don't know the full abilities of all the curlers, so I'm just making some educated guesses, and I hope we're just having fun. And that's also why I try not to be too down on teams when they don't do what I say they should do. This is Andy's last rock here. The hammer, a draw for one. Going for weight. Needs to make sure it is full 12 foot, and Darren's coming out to help. Needs to make sure it is full 12 foot. It's there. But just, it's good that they were sweeping with intention because sometimes you think it's good until it's not. So good to stay on that rock, and that was a single point for McDonald. And we'll be right back to the 2026 Mixed Fours Playdowns coming to you on the curling.gg network. as we're about to get underway. Let's go around the rings quickly as they're about to throw lead rocks on our feature sheets. Uh, on sheet A, Team Gilbert from Oval Curling in Nashville jumped out to a 4-0 lead, but Team Endicott with the Yellowstones has clawed their way back with a 3 spot in 4 and stealing the 5th. So it's currently 5-4 Gilbert over Endicott from Coyotes. Sheet B, it's our feature game. We just saw McDonald being forced to a single, but it was a good draw for her. Currently down just 1, 4-3. Coleman from San Francisco over McDonald from Coyotes and Wine Country. Sheet C, Team McLean had a really big end, 3 spot. That was the end where we saw them sitting 4, and they were able to cash in. But Team Cerna has had much of the scoring otherwise, and it looks like Cerna is about to score a decent amount again. Currently, Cerna is up 9-4 over McLean. McLean hailing from Coyotes, Cerna from Coyotes, San Francisco, and Wine Country. And then on sheet D, Team Barajas is taking control of that game over Team Aces. Barajas from San Francisco is up 7-2 over Aces from Silicon Valley. So that was a Bay battle on sheet 4. We are keeping track of the scores on bondspieler.com. Turning your attention back to the feature game, we see that they were trying to draw around their own center guard and end up crashing, but it rolls into the top of the house. But it does give Coleman a chance to hit and roll, and that's what she is lined up to do. As Neil is throwing his second stone. Trying to push it over and then roll back. So it kisses it and pushes it to the outside of the house, I think with some encouragement from Abby. So Coleman is sitting 1, binding the top of the house. And thank you again for everyone tuning in today. I'm sorry I'm a little under the weather. Uh, but we will be back for the remaining 2 games of our Saturday triple header. The fun continues at 2:30 p.m. where we will see Team Aces from Silicon Valley take on Team Gilbert from Oval Curling of Utah and Nashville. And then our MoPac After Dark for the last time for this event will be Team McBride from OC Curling San Francisco taking on Team Barajas from San Francisco. So that's going to be at 7:30, all times specific. All information at bondspieler.com. As Jennifer put up a center guard, we're going to see Abby trying to draw around it, working to push it under the guard. You can see Connor is sweeping the heck out of it, trying to get it to start curling. Also needs it for weight. So it's past the guard. Now they're going for weight, and it looks like it's pretty good as it'll settle in the top 8 foot. And I will echo Coleman when she told Abby, "Good job." This looks like it's tight on the guard. It does chip the guard, and the shooter's going to roll wide to the left. Team Coleman has the hammer this end. Looking for a hit and roll for Abby's second stone. Coverage of this end is being brought to you by Endgame Curling. Does hit, and the shooter's going to roll away. But it does get rid of the McDonald stone, and Coleman is still shot in the top 8 foot. So Endgame Curling, elevate your game with Endgame Curling, and learn more at endgamecurling.com. As we see Darren deliver. That sounds like a restaurateur. It's like Darren delivers. Call 888 Darren now. I would not recommend dialing that though. I don't know what it goes to. So drawing on top of the blue, that shot looks pretty successful. So Coleman looking to draw on top. I think that would give McDonald a chance to draw under those stones in a subsequent shot. So I think they're looking to protect the shot stone and then maybe narrow the draw path to the 4 foot. Looks like it's a little wide. So switching to a call to push the curl. It looks like it's not in a bad place. I thought they wanted to move it. I thought they were going to go more weight, but they just want to kind of rearrange the stones and I think kind of open it up on that side. That was a really good conversation as Darren and Andy were talking about whether to draw to the back to the 4 foot or to kind of open up that right side from the view. And good conversation to go for that. This is a little tight. It looks like it might be over curling. So it's on the yellow, raises the yellow. Okay, that might be what they wanted. I thought they wanted to double the blues. They were talking about doubling the blues. But it does rearrange that side. It doesn't really open up that side, which I thought they were trying to do. So Connor was heading down to maybe have a more detailed conversation, but they got on the right page, and so he went back to that delivery hack. So looking at their options, that makes a lot of sense. As looking to tap that blue that's binding the 12 foot. This is Connor's last shot. Working to hold the line. It's going to be close. As you hear Gabrielle trying to switch between holding it straight and curling. The weight was pretty good. I think they wanted like another 2 feet of curl, really. Um, so we are to skip stones. Team McDonald does not have the hammer this end. So they're looking at trying to double those blues out. I think weight wise for Coleman, I think it may have been good to kick that blue to the top of the 4 foot. Um, but I'm not sure that's what they wanted. And that clap was really loud. I apologize. Oh man, when you do broadcasting, especially audio, you hear things, man. You hear things. Looking to double the blues out, yellow to blue double takeout. As McDonald delivers, going to need to see some good weight out of this. This looks to be controlled to normal weight. So yellow runs it back to the other yellows first, and then it bounces back to the blue that was just raised. And so good shot there by McDonald, really to get rid of one of the blue counters and be still sitting 2, 3, 4 in terms of the counters, and then Coleman is sitting just 1 and 5. So it looks like Coleman is just going to kind of close off this side of the sheet and then leave open the draw for her and McDonald on the left side from the sheet. As Coleman gets set, this is her first of 2 shot stones with the hammer. Just looking for a guard. Heard Connor just say, just get over the hog line. And that is a snoop guard, as we like to call it in the business. It's a catchphrase that's catchy on like wildfire. Not really. So McDonald, I thought they might try to draw, but they are looking to line up a really tricky shot. And that reminds me of something I was hearing in the warm room. I don't think I'm talking out of school when I say this, but people are kind of saying that McDonald, um, can make the more normal shots, but she really thrives when it comes to these really high skill, high accuracy shots. And that seems to be what they're lining up. Um, I'm. It looks like it's yellow, yellow, blue is my guess. as she gets set. Looking to see another high weight shot from Andy McDonald. Yellow. That's it. So it looked close, just had to find the right line and just wasn't quite on target. So Coleman sitting one has a chance for two. The question is, how do you get into the rings? They need to basically be full 8 foot for the second point. And so I think the less dangerous side is none of them. No. I think they're on the right side for a draw for the second point. Uh, I think the miss is to be a little heavy just because it's the side of the sheet I don't think they've been on very much, that far out especially. And also, they don't want to. I mean, I just think to maybe crash on the yellow. It's not going to be the end of the world. She asked for more ice, though. Last rock coming from Gabriel Coleman. They're saying it's really straight. Needs to be biting close to full 8 foot. It's not going to come back. Oh, it kind of came back late, but not enough. That's going to be a single point for Team Coleman to take a 5-3 lead over Team McDonald. Pause in the action. We'll be right back to the 2026 doubletakeout.com MoPac Championships. Welcome back as we see Neil Hunter Smith push out of the hat for his first shot of this seventh end. We have Team Coleman up 5-3 over Team McDonald. This is a battle to stay in the hunt for the championship. We have Team McBride currently undefeated, and I can check the score to see if they're currently winning. I thought they were, as Neil's shot does go into the rings. McBride is off this game, so they are currently undefeated and winning thereby. Teams are timing when they are not on the ice. So they are here every draw of every day. It's kind of like what I do here, except for they're on the ice, definitely working hard for their money. I get to have fun just tootling on these computers and talking about curling, which is two of the things I like to do most. So McDonald puts up the corner guard. So this is more of a guard, and indeed it is a tight center guard. coverage of this end is being brought to you by curling.gg. Curling.gg just launched a new beta feature that lets you upload photos and recreate new and real curling scenarios. Check it out and give it a try at curling.gg. So down to with 2 ends to play. I think the scenario for McDonald is to score 2 or more here, and then sorry. Here's a new view. Uh, the goal here is to score 2 or 3 and then steal the last end. So this goes under the corner guard and is shot. As Lynn gets set for her first shot of this 7th end. So if Coleman wants to force McDonald to just a single point and then just store 1 or run McDonald out of stones to secure the win on her side. Going to tap and roll under. That looks like a really well executed shot by Abby. So looking around the rings, I'll give you guys the update as Jennifer's shot is away. On sheet A, the battle between Team Gilbert from Oval and Nashville taking on Team Endicott. Gilbert is currently up 7-4 after scoring 2 in the 6th end. And that shot looks like it's going to peel one of the blues through the rings out of play, and the shooter's going to hang around in the back or the 12-foot, I think near the tee line. Looking to take out that yellow stone on the right. We're going to see the next rock coming from Lynn. You're watching our feature game. Team Coleman is up 5-3. Coleman hailing from San Francisco, playing against Team McDonald from Coyotes, San Francisco. Sorry, Coyotes in Wine Country. And that yellow goes away, and the blue does as well. On sheet C, we had a contest between Team Cerna from San Francisco, Wine Country, and Coyotes taking on Team McLean from Coyotes, and Team Cerna was able to eke out a 12-4 win. And then on sheet D, uh, Team Barajas from San Francisco is up 7-4 over Team Aces from Silicon Valley and Rock Creek. That game is in the 7th end. All the games that are active are in their 7th end. So we are keeping track of scores at bondspieler.com. So with the conversation, they thought about hitting the blue out, but I think they noted that it would just kind of go into a hitting game, it sounded like. And it looks like they get pretty well buried under the corner guard. Although where Coleman has the broom is set up for kind of a hit and roll with a bumper weight as Connor pushes out from the hatch. Lynn's working to push it over. Needs another half rock to have some really solid contact. It hits the yellow, jams on the blue in the back, and then the shooter rolls wide to the 12 foot. So looks like Coleman is sitting 2, and McDonald has the third rock on the right edge of the 12 foot. So McDonald took a look at the clock. They're doing okay on time, but they definitely can't, thoroughly discuss all the shots. As we see Darren deliver his first, first of the third stones. And so, the conversation is how do they try to score 2? And it seems like they're putting the stone in a good place. They want to tap that blue out, and they do tap the blue. Yellow is now shot and third stone, and Coleman didn't waste a second putting the broom down for a takeout. And Coleman has a lot of time, relatively speaking. You want to play and end in roughly 3 minutes 40 seconds, and based on that, they have a decent amount of time, just about 6 minutes 23 seconds. Uh, McDonald is starting to get a little tight on time. Good hit. They wanted a bit of a roll back to the center. It doesn't quite get there. It's kind of sticking out like a sore thumb. Looking for control weight. They are going to try the hit and roll with Darren's second shot. Again, looking to make sure there's no dirt, hair, or debris on the ice that could pull that stone offline. It's so important. Like when you curl on arena ice or hockey ice, they cut the ice before every game, and so the things don't really have a chance to build up, but they do on dedicated ice. It's just one of those things you have to work with. Hit and roll, but it's going to roll under and through the center and poke out the other side. So Coleman has a hit and roll. There's a jam possibility, so she might be happy with just a slight roll. Just getting rid of the yellow being the higher priority. As she books it down the ice. So looking to, I think, hit nose or just inside of nose. This is Gabrielle Coleman's first. Looks like they were pushing the runs back on A. We'll update the score when we can. It's over curling. It crashes on the guard. It's trying to spin back. Oh, and just barely misses that stone in the bat. So that is an error that McDonald can capitalize on. So just unlucky shot there by Coleman, but opportunity for McDonald. So they're sitting 1 and 3 I think they're maybe leaving the outside stone for the last shot to see if they can bring that outside blue into play or outside yellow. McDonald is yellow, by the way, guys. Uh, I like to joke when some curlers are just super fastidious about making sure the rocks are in their numerical order. In they're kind of the behind the hat, but I always joke, just like, can you count to eight? And if you can't, putting the rocks in order is not necessarily a high priority, especially when the games are being timed. However, other people pointed out that some people are super particular about that, and if they need to do that to scratch whatever itch they need to play well, just let them do it. And I'm totally fine with that. As we see Andy McDonald going to, oh, she is going to make a play on that blue on the wings. And there we go. Hits the blue does jam on the blue in the back, but it's out of the rings. And McDonald is saying three, and so I think Coleman's going to try the double to minimize the scoring opportunity for McDonald. Although right now it's McDonald saying three, and Coleman at best could cut McDonald down to a potential two. So this is a bailout shot coming from Gabrielle. So McDonald played that end really well. She and Darren took a little additional time to talk about the shots, but they really worked. I think it really worked in their favor. As we see the last rock coming from Coleman, hoping to double these yellows out to sit shot and likely maybe give up two to Team McDonald. It's one and the other yellow through the rings. That is a double takeout brought to you by doubletakeout.com. And so now Darren has the broom down for a nose hit and stick for a two. Right now, Coleman is sitting shot, but McDonald has that takeout, and they didn't waste any time because they don't have any time to waste. Line's looking pretty good. They just want to make sure it doesn't over curl. I don't think it's going to. Hit, slight roll, that's it. That is a score of two to tie things up. We have a tie game. McDonald played that end exactly the way she needed to. We're tied coming home. All Coleman needs to do to win is score one. All McDonald needs to do to win is steal one. Easy peasy. We'll show you what happens next. Welcome back to the final stanza of our MoPac morning draw as we have uh, Brian Feldman Jr. drawing into the rings and The strategy for Coleman is to keep an open house, so all they need to do is draw for the win. All McDonald wants to do is like steal, 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 and basically put rocks wherever she can to increase the chances of her scoring, and make it super hard for Coleman to score. So that's kind of the setting the table for this end, and so we're going to see Brian Feldman draw. The clock is ticking, so so I guess the other thing that Andy could have maybe done is call a technical timeout on the clocks, just so she could stay focused on her shot. So uh, the time's important. She's down to her last 2 minutes 40 seconds. So I thought that was Andy. It could have been someone else. As we see Neil with his second stone, looking to, I think, put up a corner guard, I believe. So that ends up roughly parallel. Actually goes into the back 12 foot. So before we see the opening stones from the seconds, let's go over the standings. Let's show you guys what's at stake. We have Team McBride off the ice this draw, currently undefeated at 6-0. Both McDonald and Coleman are at 4-1. So whoever wins this game will be in the next position to maybe try to catch up to McBride. And then below that we have Aces, Barajas, and Gilbert. Aces at 3-2, Barajas and Gilbert at 3-3. So they're in the hunt with 2 games to go. Maybe need some luck to get into playoff contention, but that's where we stand in the standings, and that is at Bonspieler. So McDonald put up another guard while I was yapping, and we are going to see Abby throw some heat at this pile of guards at the top of the house. Looking to move some of these yellows. Oh, there were 2 yellows, so it clips one of the yellows out of the rings and then promotes the other yellow into the house uh, for what might be second shot. Uh, Coleman is currently shot, but is exposed. And so I think McDonald is just going to try and draw on top of that. They are playing pretty quickly now, down to about 2 minutes 30 seconds, I would guess. That was a guard. So I think Coleman is going to peel the guard. That makes sense. I didn't know what she was going to do until she put the broom down. But we are to the last of the second stones as Lynn gets positioned, looking for a good alignment, balance, and curl with her release. Textbook. Looks like it's a good peel right there. Shooter's also going to roll out of play across the sheet. So McDonald is going to try to put up the guard again. I'm not showing you just set up in the hat because they have 2 minutes 27 seconds remaining. I don't think they've called their timeout, so I think they're back on pace, especially if they need to talk about the shots as they put up the guard again. And Coleman, I will give you $30,000 if she does not peel that guard. You're going to peel the guard. So as Connor delivers, That sort of farcical betting actually bit me in the behind at the 5 and under last year because they were doing hit, 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 and then I said, "Oh, they're gonna hit again," and they drew, and it's like, "Oh man, ain't on my face." Not literally, that'd be messy. And so yeah, they're going basically as soon as they get control of the sheet, they're throwing their stone. Uh, this is going to be Darren's second, I believe. So putting up the guard again. And so at some point, McDonald's going to go into the rings to be scoring, and that's going to be their chance. That ends up as another tight guard, and I'm not going to make. I'm not going to place a bet this time. As Connor gets set, you can see that McDonald basically every time they have the ice, they basically take 2 seconds to throw their stone, which is very fast, but they need to. And that guard is peeled. And so now with 2 stones to go, the question is, does McDonald go for it? They are calling their timeout, so let's listen in to see what they might be talking about. Uh, they called the timeout as soon as they got the eyes. Let's listen in. Okay, so they are going to go into the house now. That makes perfect sense. The timeout is over just now. So you can see they have 2 minutes and 24 seconds. I think they started the clock just a little, or they stopped the clock a little late. So I think they're going to give them like a couple seconds of grace as McDonald gets set, looking to hit and tap the blue back ever so slightly, and be a sitting shot with a little bit of protection for backing. So they're looking to lock it on from what Darren said, and just a slight tap. So I don't think Coleman needs to get fancier. I think they can just try to do the double, maybe. I think if they try to peel it, that might be the call. So hit the inside of the yellow. You can see where they have the broom, and it might jam on the blue in the back. But if Coleman throws with enough weight, they'll get both moving. Call the timeout. Let's listen in. their timeout is over. They have 2 minutes, 12 seconds. So the broom is down. Uh, they did talk about slamming the stone, and I think they were just concerned about McDonald's still going to be able to sit shot and have some protection, and so I think Coleman is shot currently, and so I think they wanted to just kind of secure the advantage and force McDonald to try a tricky double. That sounds like what I heard as Gabrielle gets set for a very similar draw to McDonald's first. So looking like the line is pretty good. They don't need to be super close to the house. And indeed, it's going to be a high guard. So McDonald is going to have a draw, I believe, or she could actually do a heavy tap. And I think that's what they might line up to do. Uh, if you look at it from the head-on view, that yellow is pretty exposed, so they can do hack the board weight to run the yellow onto the blue and sit three, maybe two. They only need one to win. Then it would force Coleman to make that tricky draw for the win. But based on how, so if McDonald makes the shot, Coleman's going to have that draw on the right side all day and twice on Sunday. I think people want to be playing twice on Sunday if they can, especially if you're not going to win the competition outright in round robin. If you win in round robin, that's great. You don't want to play twice on Sunday, but if you're not going to win Saturday, you want to play twice on Sunday. Uh, so after being tied on time, we can look at the time clocks and see that McDonald has just under 90 seconds. So they managed the time in this last end fairly well. So they have plenty of time to get this last shot off. They actually Coleman let the clock run down a little bit further than McDonald did in this last end, but you don't get to save the time, so you might as well just leave it on the ice. As this looks to be a soft tap, they're not going to blast it, and I think they might be looking for the tap and a slight roll to make that draw for Coleman that much harder. As McDonald gets set, this is to stay alive. Last shot in the eighth without the hammer. Tie game. Calling for curl. This is looking pretty good. It's not going to cross the face, so it's going to tap the yellow onto the blue and then taps the blue to the back 12 foot. And so Coleman has one shot, really. I was thinking that she could try to throw a pistol at those two yellows, but that risk is so high. So looking to draw the button for the win. This is to stay in second place and stay in the hunt to potentially try to catch Team McBride, which is currently undefeated at 6-0. This is the hammer coming from Gabrielle Coleman. Line looks good out of hand. The weight needs to be on target. They say the line's okay. need to be biting button as Connor was about to come out to help. He kind of pulled back. This is going to be close. Needs to be biting the button for the win, and it is there. Oh my goodness, that was a shot. And make the final Team Coleman 6, Team McDonald 5. That was a game, folks. As the warm room had a bit of applause for that game, or for that shot, and that had the right weight, the right line, as Abby and Andy kind of embraced teammates elsewhere, not during this event though. And that was a game. And hopefully we have two more games on tap today, and perhaps tiebreakers on Sunday. Our mid-game draw will be at 2:30 Pacific, as we'll see Team Aces of Silicon Valley and Rock Creek take on Team Gilbert from Utah's Oval Curling and Nashville. And then our MoPac After Dark will be McBride taking on Barajas. So we will see the currently undefeated McBride taking on Barajas in the nightcap. So let's go around the rings one last time before we sign off. That was the last game on the ice. That game was an important one. As we look around the rings, on sheet A, Team Gilbert from Oval in Nashville was the 10-4 winners over Team Endicott from Coyotes. Sheet B, we just saw Team Coleman draw for the win over Team McDonald. And then sheet C ended a bit early as Team Cerna jumped up 12-4 over Team McLean after 5. McLean from Coyotes, Cerna from San Francisco Coyotes and Wine Country. And then on sheet D, we had a Team Barajas from San Francisco defeat Team Aces from Silicon Valley and Rock Creek. That was a key game for the teams that are below the top tier. So Barajas, they could get a little lucky in the last two games and maybe get into playoff contention. We'll see. The other thing to keep in mind is that we have a two-loss rule for the championship. So if we finish round robin and we have one team that's undefeated and one team with only one loss, then we have the playoff tiebreaker to see who can prevail. And it could be up to 2 games. So lots to play for. Great game. I hope my sniffles go away. uh, but if they don't, I'll still be here. And we do want to thank our sponsors one more time before we say farewell, including our title sponsor, doubletakeout.com. Throughout the competitive curling season, proprietor Ken Pomeroy updates the site with the latest curling results to create a unique ranking of the top men's and women's teams from around the world at doubletakeout.com. And by curling.gg, proud to be an official sponsor of Team Canada's mixed doubles champions, Brett Gallant and Jocelyn Peterman. And by Endgame Curling, elevate your game with Endgame Curling. Learn more at endgamecurling.com. And so until 2:30 Pacific time, when we will be back, this has been your host, Ryan Olson, on behalf of all of us here at MoPac, San Francisco Bay Area Curling, and with deep thanks to our sponsors. Good morning and good curling. We'll be back at 2:30.